friend of a long time, Dan Muschiana. He'll be presenting about his dojo, Shen Dojo. I used to work with Dan many years ago for a fruit-based computer company. In the meantime, I've taken kickboxing classes and didn't do really well. But Dan's going to talk to us about kind of some martial arts, and just if you do get the chance to check out Kickstarter and Shen Dojo, there's 10 days left on a really important Kickstarter he's doing to raise money for the community so he can work with local people and the hospitals, and I'm filling words as you're walking closer and closer. Comes from a family of artists, athletes, beautiful musicians. Dan Muschiana, everyone.
Execute. I'm Daniel Muschiana. Today I'm going to be talking about my journey in the martial arts. It starts with talking about my inspiration in a classical Chinese education, which revolves around the healing arts, the martial arts, the fine arts, poetry and writing, and the art of being, which is basically the nobility of the human spirit. Bruce Lee once said, "Stop wasting time in playing a role or a concept. Instead, learn to actualize yourself, your potential." When I started studying martial arts, I set out just to do that, to find out more about myself and my true identity. So all of these excellences, they move someone towards uplifting the human spirit. So my journey began at Apple, at the fruit-based company where I worked with Kevin. I sold a gentleman a laptop one day, and we basically started talking about photography, martial arts, movies, and Bruce Lee. He invited me into his school, the Blue Heron Academy. That gentleman was Dr. Gregory Lawton, president of the school. It's a school of healing arts and sciences, and I inculcated myself into those programs. Here we see Bruce Lee, on the left, Ed Parker. He's the grandfather of one of the martial arts styles that I studied at the school called Koshoru Kempo Jiu-Jitsu. So I have a black belt in Kempo and also Tai Chi Chuan, which I learned from Dr. Lawton. Here I'm performing Tai Chi in the Manistee River. That was an awesome experience. Tai Chi can be done anywhere, outdoors, on the beach, on top of a mountain, in a river. His teacher was Professor Ho Chi Kwan. He was a very, very notable scholar in China. His father served under the last emperor of China, and he came from a long lineage of Chinese calligraphers. He represented 16 generations of calligraphers. He was a master painter, a writer, a poet, and a martial artist. After World War II, he befriended Pablo Picasso in Paris, France, where he traded his calligraphy with his artwork. In the middle here, we see a little bit of the family of my style of Tai Chi that I teach. Professor Ho studied under the grandson of the founder of Tai Chi. Here we see the last emperor of China again. So he studied under the grandson of the founder of my style of Tai Chi. The founder was a really incredible martial artist, obviously. Tai Chi is really interesting in that the styles are actually broken up by families. They were very protective of them during their time periods when starting to teach people, and that was sort of their livelihood. Here we see one of Professor Ho's teachers. He was known as the best swordsman in his time in China. He's also the former governor of the Hopi province. So Professor Ho is a very notable scholar. To call him just a martial artist was actually an insult to him. He considered if you studied martial arts, you were no better than a common thug. So all this hoopla about MMA and martial arts, there's something a little bit beyond that within the spirit of martial arts that's sometimes lost. So I really tried to study that and bring that into Grand Rapids. Here you see a photo of a recent film that I shot for the Kickstarter program. This is Shen and Kyosekan Dojo. Shen Dojo started on South Division, where I taught African Americans, Hispanics, people that were part of my community. And I really tried to reach out to a lot of diversity that I saw in those areas. So Shen Dojo started on South Division. I've recently moved on to partnering up with this traditional Japanese martial arts studio where I have a team of yoga instructors, Zen meditation instructors, karate instructors, these traditional Japanese martial arts. And I'm further bringing what I've learned through Blue Heron Academy and my teachers to this new space. So we're reaching out to communities, to businesses, places that don't have or can't provide insurance to their employees, and we're connecting with them through wellness programs, through building up the healing arts in our communities and connecting with people further. So basically getting back to the 5 excellences, we have the healing arts, the martial arts, the fine arts. I'm a graduate of Kendall College of Art and Design. That's where I really started a lot of my training. Some of these other areas have just kind of fallen into place. Where do these connect into my life? Well, I seek self-preservation through the healing arts. Living on South Division, it can be a little rough sometimes, so I sought self-defense. I taught people, students at Kendall, Kevin, my peers, women, and then I found self-expression through the fine arts. Self-exploration through writing, through poetry, in the art of being. I found my spiritual self. All of these connect and unify into the avenues that I pursued in my life, whether that be my art forms, the martial arts, the healing arts that I'm connecting with, or my career pathways. Socrates once said, "The secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new." So, a little note here. How can I awaken another if I cannot first awaken myself? So my goal was, how can I connect with my immediate area into these things that I'm doing, and how can I present it to other people? How can I really draw into my roots on where I'm at and take a stand and see where I can grow? And I'll leave you with this quote, awaken. One man awakens another. The second awakens his next door brother. The 3 awaken can rouse a town by turning the whole place upside down. The many awaken can cause such a fuss, it finally awakens the rest of us. Can you go back there? One man up with dawn in his eyes, surely then multiplies. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. I promise I'll be back.